Hey guys, so this is going to be sort of a new series or segment. I get a lot of questions from people asking me random questions about diet and weight loss or parenting or relationships and things like that. And I'm not able to get back to every single one of you. And sometimes the questions are very similar, so I decided that I was going to try to do short videos where I could answer maybe one or two of them, and that way if somebody has a similar question and they're not even looking to write in or anything, they can get their answer too. So this week I chose two of them that had just kind of stuck out to me. So and then I'm just gonna randomly keep selecting two, maybe a week or something like that. So the first question was, this has been several people writing in asking what can they do to get more of their significant other's attention, so their husband's attention or whatever the situation is, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. So if that is your question, that what can you do to attract your loved one's attention, the first thing I want you to do is stop and for a moment think about why you want their attention. Sometimes when we are not giving ourselves attention, we seek to others to fulfill that need, and that can be a huge burden to put on somebody. From personal experience, I feel like the more you seek out somebody's attention and try to demand that attention, the less of it you're going to get from them. Unfortunately, I am one of those personality types too, and I don't know, I might offend people, but if somebody's very needy for my attention, I mean, like, you have kids, you understand, they're always needy for your attention, but I'm talking about like adults, grown-ups, that's a huge turn-off for me. And I truly believe, and if you guys have been following my videos, you should know this by now, that I believe that you should be the one that is providing most of what you need in life. You should love yourself, you should give yourself attention, care, all of that. Once your glass is full, like you're running on full of your own attention and your own respect and your own love, I feel like you don't really need to seek out other people's attention, and you tend to get it without having to chase after it. So in the case of your spouse, if your spouse is not paying attention to you for whatever reason, I want you to completely stop in your tracks and start paying attention to yourself. And I'm not saying that we're playing a game or we're trying to play reverse psychology. No, I seriously want you to pay attention to yourself, because we're trying to figure out what is lacking in yourself that you, one, are seeking this attention out, and secondly, why you're not getting this attention. You might be actually putting off your spouse because you might be coming off as very needy, and needy people are not people that I'm attracted to. You know, everybody has points in their life where they might need extra attention, but I'm talking about somebody that's constantly leeching on for attention and doing things for attention. That can be a huge burden on people, and I hope I'm not offending anybody by saying this, but I want you to start giving yourself attention. Take time out to take a bath, go get yourself pampered, go get a massage, go start working out, start eating right, start spending time with friends, doing things that you used to do maybe before that you've been neglecting. Spend time with your girlfriends, your family members, and things like that, and really take the time to seek yourself and find out where things are lacking. Sometimes when people are not joyful and they're not happy, other people don't want to spend time and attention, give them attention. People that are genuinely happy and radiant and joyful will attract attention everywhere they go, just from radiating happiness and contentment and joyfulness out. So they're not going to have to really seek out that attention. And you know what? Putting that kind of burden on somebody, also ask yourself the question, have you been paying your spouse attention? Have you been paying them too much attention? I mean, kind of really try to narrow down your situation. Obviously, I don't know the full situation, so I can't say, but sometimes it's really, we're seeking our own attention and we're expecting others to fulfill that need. But what you really need to do is stop and give yourself that attention. I'm going to give you guys an example. I don't know if it exactly fits in here or not, but my plant, I have a garden in the front, and I absolutely love my garden. It's just my pride and joy, and my husband and I take really good care of it. There's a lot of care that goes into having a garden, right? You fertilize, you water, you trim, you take care of it from the elements. When it gets too cold, we have to cover it, all that kind of stuff, right? So that is how human life is as well. Are you doing all that stuff in your life? So for example, if I stop taking care of my garden, and for a week it would look fine, and for 2 weeks it would be fine, and maybe the third week it would start falling apart. And let's say that I disguise that by slapping on some green paint on my plants, on the leaves, and some red paint on the roses. How long is that really going to buy me until everything completely falls apart? And so we need to stop slapping paint on us and disguising that everything is fine, and really get to the core of the problem. And I hope that that analogy kind of made sense for you guys. But to me, it's like, nurture yourself and figure out why you are not getting this attention and why are you seeking it in the first place. So I hope that answers your question. I'm never going to reveal who asked the question unless I get a question and the person says that it's okay to reveal their name or their screen name or whatever. So that was question number one. Question number two, I get a question asking, everybody knows, I've mentioned this several times, that I had a son from previous marriage, and so we're sort of like a blended family. And my son was 4 years old when he was adopted by my now husband, and so we live happily under one roof as one family. Actually, my son doesn't even know that my current husband is not his biological father. So it works out for us. But the question that I got was, somebody wrote in saying that they had been married for around 7 years, and they had kids that were around 12-year-olds. I forgot the other one's age. And that even in 7 years that her children had not accepted her new husband as their father. And what was my advice? I thought about this a lot before answering this, because this is a very serious question, I feel like. I mean, if your family dynamic is where people are not comfortable or they're not accepting each other, it can be a very tedious and stressful environment to live in. So I'm not saying that your environment is hostile, but you understand, like, the little day-to-day things can be very stressful, especially for the mom in this situation that's trying to please her husband and also keep her kids happy. So first of all, my answer to that is, kids are kids. They seek love and attention. So no matter what situation you come in from and how resistant the children are to accept this new person, I honestly truly believe that if they get attention and love and acceptance from this new person, that they will eventually come through. Especially children that, if your children are around 12, they were really young when this other person came into their lives, so they should have accepted him by now. Now, I'm not blaming the kids in this situation at all, because like I said, kids are very easy. All they need are love and attention. So what has your spouse done? And he could be a great husband, but I am going to say, unfortunately, that there is something lacking there in his parental attention or whatever it is, that the children have not accepted him and not cared for him. So what I'm trying to say is, there's something missing from the stepfather. Because in 7 years, and children being that age, honestly, in my experience, I would have felt that the kids would have accepted him years ago if he had really truly accepted them as his children and loved them and cared for them and truly accepted them. And I'm not saying that means you completely spoil your stepchildren and you don't get to discipline them or anything like that. No, a good parent is one that's loving and attentive, but also one that knows how to discipline their children and teach them right from wrong. So it needs to be balanced out. But my answer to that is that you need to kind of judge that relationship a little bit, watch it, and see where your husband is lacking and where he's gone wrong in not making your children feel comfortable that is their father and they're somebody that loves them and accepts them. And the way you can go about it is, first is observe and try. And I have a feeling that you might already know this, and try to figure out what it is. And what you can do is, instead of accusing him of anything or kind of going at it that way, what I would do is kind of help the situation a little bit and retrain maybe your new husband on how he can gain their attention, sometimes gain their affection. Sometimes you need to create those situations where they have that time with him to bond with him. Because many times what happens, and I know I've been through this in the beginning, where you're so nervous and you want to make sure that they get along so well that you micromanage the situation, and that's not the right way to do it. And I did that in the beginning. My son was 4, and obviously he didn't know my new husband, so every time they were together, I was there watching like a hawk and trying to interfere and micromanage the situation. But that's not going to help them bond, and that's not going to help my son get to know him. So I caught myself there and stepped back, and my husband made some mistakes. He had to become an overnight father. So, but you know what? They make mistakes, they learn from them, and they move on. And that's not to say that your biological father is not going to make those same mistakes. So they were just like minor things of, it's just juggling and trying to figure out what works for you as a family, right? So, I'm just going to close out with saying that kids just need love and attention. If they get that from their biological parents, their step-parents, their friends, their teachers, their daycare caregivers, social workers, wherever they give it from, those are the people that they're going to naturally want to be around, and those are the people that they're going to look up to and love. So that's my simple answer, guys. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below what you feel about sort of this format. If I just reply back to your Facebook message or your personal message here, I don't think that it helps everybody in general, and other people might have the same questions. So I thought that this might be easier. Plus, it's so much to type out, and it's easier for me to just say it out loud. So that's it, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.